I think it's very easy to be ignorant and to think that you're doing the right thing by diligently taking your multivitamins that you've purchased from one of our supermarkets. But when you realise that it doesn't have, the significant amount to make an positive impact on you is truly shocking. The research we go into to ensure that these products are of the best quality is phenomenal. It's about the whole holistic service that you're giving your customer. And fulfillment and delivery, and for them to have an easy journey. It's not about just getting the sales.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneur TV. Today we are going to look all into things supplements, and I have an amazing guest. I've had the privilege of really getting to know her this morning. Her name is Vicki and she's from Royal Oak Health. First up, Vicki, thank you so much for coming in. You've come quite a way and you've managed to get into the studio, and I am delighted that we are going to be able to delve into supplements. I mean, just off the bat, how important do you think supplements are to people?
Yeah, hugely important. It's not only the supplements; it's the whole holistic thing. But supplements can really help a lot of issues for people. So yeah, really important.
I mean, and the thing is nowadays there is a bit of a minefield. We are bombarded, aren't we, with the likes of Facebook and Instagram, and they're all saying wild claims that this can do this and that, and there are also bogus companies out there, to be fair. So it is important, isn't it, that people find a good, reputable company?
For sure. Yeah, really important.
And Royal Oak Health, I believe, has just won recently some export recognition. What do you think has helped Royal Oak, stand out from the others?
Yeah, particularly with the export, and then I think the award you're referring to was the Made in Britain Export Award, and it really is that affirmation that we are British, and that British standards is something that really stands out globally, and that's been fascinating for me to really understand that impact and to feel really proud of the fact that we are British and we're part of something that really that standard does transcend internationally, and to the Far East, which we're particularly targeting.
And it is quite phenomenal, the growth of the company and everything. I've seen through it and I think, wow, you've really made some real milestones. But, you just touched on trust there. And I know that it really, really is a big deal, especially when you come to things like scaling. How do you actually earn trust from people?
Yeah, okay. So trust. Obviously, there is the standards, Medicine, Healthcare Regulatory Agency, all of these acronyms. I could say GMP, PRC, MHRA. Does that? Yeah. Acronyms. But they are important. We have that. We have those stamp of approvals, and they're there on our website. But it's and hugely important. But it isn't only. But we have to. That trust isn't. It isn't a one size fits all in the international market, because what reassures a UK shopper is something will not land necessarily internationally, and that's been really interesting for us to understand and translate those values and those stamp of approvals, which are hugely important in the UK. And the British regulation we have is phenomenal standards. It's a phenomenal standards, and we're very lucky that we have to adhere to them. We really are, and it does help us break through to the international market. But it translates differently in an international market, and we're continually having to educate through and partner trainership as well, and comms.
So would you say then, like communication of all this is absolutely key?
Yeah, it is. Back to what does this mean? Yeah. Okay, we have that approval, but let's really translate it. Let's really go down and in truth, I've been on a huge journey learning that myself, and and it has, I have to say, it has made me proud to be British, which is, sometimes doesn't figure so much in my life when I'm moaning about the weather, etc. But I do think our manufacturing standards are phenomenal. Yeah,
We're like world leaders when it comes to
Yeah.
things like that, aren't we? And
Yeah.
people look to that benchmark, and as I say, it's just communicating that obviously to the consumers. But you know what? It is actually easy, isn't it, to fall into such hype. How do you keep things compliant but still keep that sort of spark alive?
Yeah, well, I think I've almost touched on that in the previous question. So yes, the compliance we can stand there happily with all our acronyms that we've got, but again, it is about the education, and that is fascinating for me to have understood more and more about the products, and it's made me more passionate about the products. I mean, for example, our super ultra fish oil.
I am just going to say one word: anchovies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the research we go into to ensure that these products are of the best quality is phenomenal. And the more I've learned about the supplement business, the more I've realized I don't want to be scaremongering, but
No.
truly what is out there in many supermarkets is of subpar standard.
What I was just going to say, Vicky, is it's like I know the cost of some of these ingredients because obviously I've loved food and nutrition for 30 odd years. Had an illness, and then I had to transform the way I ate and looked after myself. And so I went down the rabbit hole of learning about a bit about food and nutrition. And so I know how much some of these ingredients cost. And I'll go to a supermarket and it'll say, oh, buy this for $9.99. And I think, no, surely not, because I know how much that ingredient costs. I turn it over and it's like bottom of the list.
Yeah. And a trace of the active ingredient that will actually have an impact on you. And I've been on that journey. And prior to coming to this supplement business, I was ignorant. Hands up. I think it's very easy to be ignorant and to think that you're doing the right thing by diligently taking your multivitamins that you purchase from one of our supermarkets, but when you realize that it doesn't have the significant amount to make an positive impact on you, is truly shocking, and so I'm really proud of that. And so your question was about how we can bring it to life, and I think with that education piece, there's so much to be done. And it's switching our consumers on, and it's not about scaremongering. It's to say that it's about offering that reassurance that we do whatever we can to ensure we've got the premium product.
I mean, wellness. I think even after COVID, wellness has like boomed around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's starting to have this buzz of be well and be this and that, the other. But where in the world are you actually seeing with your company the most buzz and excitement right now?
Touched on it earlier, but I really think we have had a great impact in Asia and the Far East, and put more of a promising impact in the Southeast Asia. There's a preference for Western manufactured products. Why do
you think that is, though?
I believe it is a trusted quality.
Yeah. They actually trust the products.
Yeah.
And then they think, do you know what? We know what we're getting. When you see made in Britain,
yes,
it's that benchmark again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going back to that, and it is great to feel proud to be British in these days. I won't mention Brexit.
No. It's a very strange word, isn't it? With that, it has different connotations for different people. It is a fast-moving space. How do you stay grounded? Because obviously, people get so excited about, oh, have you tried this product? Have you tried the other product? How do you work out what products to go to?
Yeah. We do focus on the long term. When there's a lot of noisy space, and any business, it can be particularly a startup, I think you have to be really cautious of looking at the shiny next thing, thinking that's where the market is. So we have leadership meetings, and we do, really steady ourselves without going for these fads. And it's about looking at what really what is evidence backed and scientifically backed. And I'd like to think that we're always focusing on long term. Rather than and being very wary of these short-term fads.
Yeah, because it can be a bit like that. Something you can sometimes find on TikTok 1 minute, and then no, you don't do that. You do the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like a leapfrog effect, isn't it? Because 1 minute it's in, 1 minute it's out. It's sticking to those tried and trusted things that I think that.
I really think that, and I think actually that is reflected in our brand name, Royal Oak Health. I think it has got that great traditional vibe about it. And long term, long standing, and sort of reliability. And whilst it may not be the sort of the sexiest kind of like fluffy brand, that I'm proud to be working in the supplement business is something that has long term stability in place.
And I think, one thing that I do love, and I think that your company does amazing, and I'm going to say it right now, is your e-commerce platform. Oh, thank you. You have made it nice and easy, because there's nothing more than gets Emily a little bit ratty when she goes to buy something and then it's like about 1,000 other different questions, and then, do you know what? I leave the cart.
Oh wow, that's amazing feedback, and essentially that really is what we're doing. E-commerce with all the platforms out there. It isn't about delivering the sales. It's about the whole holistic service that you're giving your customer, and fulfillment and delivery, and for them to have an easy journey. It's not about just getting the sales. So it's fantastic for you to hear about you.
It's nothing that really infuriates me more than going on a platform that is like, I don't know, it's some can be so messy, but it's like I see things on there and I think, I know what this. When I saw like the superfood, the super fish oil, and then I saw the organic, it's like yes, now I know where we're going. And then just to have that whole checkout process made a lot easier. Thank you.
Amazing.
Your bosses.
I love it.
Now,
thank you.
There's obviously lots of those wellness trends out there. That people can completely and utterly misread. But I want you to tell me one that maybe people misread, and then one that actually excites you.
It's an interesting one. I think I would on the side of caution with the detoxing hype. Again, it seems to be a real fad at the moment, detoxing, but I truly believe nothing should be too punishing. Nothing in wellness should be punishing.
I'm glad to hear that.
No, absolutely not. And it's about supporting the body's natural systems and the right nutrients and hydration. Detox is something I would be a little cautious about. But I truly believe in, we did speak about this a little bit earlier, didn't we? Sleep.
Do you know, and I believe it's actually an underrated topic, because I know, being menopausal, of that age, that if I don't get enough sleep, I am not going to function.
No.
It's one of them things, isn't it? Do you think that people really need to put some more importance on the old sleep?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting you saying that, because it actually, sometimes people putting importance on sleep is kind of scary, because then you're up at 2:00 going, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. So, I think, but I mean, there's not a simple answer, but what I will say, I think sleep is very holistic. It's very much about your diet and your sleep and your stress levels. And there's a lot that you need to do. But what I will, and I really, really can talk about sleep deprivation. For some reason, I was born with a body that can struggle to go to sleep. There are some people that can just
Switch off.
Switch off and go, you know, but it seems to be in the family and yeah.
Seriously, my husband over there, he could actually, I think he could actually sleep on a log, and you know, it just wouldn't affect him. Where me, I seem to be wired, and I have to wind down.
Yeah, wind down, and I think there's something in the genes as well, because I was told when I was young that there were people in my family who could survive off 4 hours sleep.
Oh yes,
and it was like a badge of honor.
Yeah, I think that was a certain prime minister. If I remember rightly.
Exactly. So and Margaret Thatcher. So when I was in the 80s and I was 10 and in teenage, and everyone's like, Margaret Thatcher only needed 4 hours sleep, and everyone in my family was this badge of honor that they could also survive off, you know, that little sleep, and so did I. I had that in me as well, but it's no good.
No.
But what I will say is I have been just our magnesium supplement. I cannot tell you. It's just mind blowing how it's improved my sleep.
I have magnesium glycinate most nights.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm having one of those days.
Yeah.
And it for me it helps.
Yeah, it really helped me. And so that was one of the times that I can say I was like, okay, this supplement stuff's, you know, there's stuff in it. There's something in it. And it was when I took that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I'm not the only one then, Vicky. Now then, let's move on to AI, because I know that a lot of people, you know, they struggle with AI, but you know, how has it helped or hindered the brand? What would you think it does do?
Personally, it's so complicated relationship with AI, isn't it? That we've all had to take in the last 18 months, and it's just phenomenal. And as a marketer, it's you know, something that I've had to grapple with fast. Part of me loves AI, and part of me fears AI. It does, but I do, you know, it's here, and I will embrace it. You'd be crazy not to embrace it. And so it is a powerful leveler for startups in particular, and I think that is absolutely wonderful. You know, obviously it speeds up content creation and it automates tasks, etc. But I think for wellness brands, you know, AI technology,
you've got to embrace it.
You've got to embrace it, but you've got to also step away from it. And I do think the connection that you have with your customers and relationships you build with the people that advocate your products, etc. You know, that's always going to be the human face, the human heart. And the human mission. So, you know, absolutely embrace it. But I do think that the human connection just has to work harder as well.
You can't beat it. You can't beat human connection. Now, this is funny because I think this will come on maybe to that point as well, because, you know, yes, you're a company, and yes, you've got to grow those sales. But, you know, what does real brand growth look like?
Yeah, it does come on really well, I think. Brand growth isn't just about the sales figures. No, and it is again, it is that human connection, that advocacy.
And it is, and I think that, isn't it? It's like the customers, and I know we can't get away from this fact. You've won a lot of awards, your company, already. Well done. But also those reviews, they must actually, when you go into work in the morning and you see those reviews, that must just make you smile.
Yeah, absolutely. It really isn't about it. And I don't want to sound corny and say it's not about the figures and it's about the impact, but it's the truth. And it is, and particularly when I've personally had extremely positive effects from the supplements, and then you see people also have those extremely positive effects. It is a great thing. Yeah.
Do any of the bosses do cartwheels around the offices when they get those reviews, or are they not that brave?
No, yeah, absolutely. We're a very energetic lot.
You know, you said that wellness in particular is very personal to you. You know, where does that connection come from? Where does Vicky get her love for all this from?
Yeah, well, it's a journey, isn't it? I think. Well, I think. I was brought up to eat very well and to exercise, etc. And then you get into your adulthood, and bad habits creep in, and you're putting on the weight, and you're not exercising, you're not eating as well, and it takes its toll.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I remember it really taking its toll in its 20s, and I was always, going to a chiropractor because of back issues. And you're still in your youth, you take things for granted, and you can get away with it. And then I was a mother, and I had 3 children under the age of 2. So there was the sleep deprivation on top of my genetic predisposition.
Well done for surviving it anyway.
Yeah, I tell you. So twins, and they never woke up at night and at the same time. So I'd be constantly up feeding them. Anyhow, those days have passed. But what I do, I really did suffer burnout. My physical health was and physical and mental health were totally on the floor, and I think if you get to that point, and then you start prioritizing your health and you start putting things in place, which we all know, none of this is rocket science. There is a lot of information out there about self-care. But often you just go, yeah, self-care. Well,
I've got the kids to deal with.
Yeah. And then I'm out socialising in my 20s, and then when you do start prioritising it, and you see the impact and the positivity, like, I'm not letting go of this.
No,
I'm not letting go of self-care and my commitment to my diet and my commitment to health, and the supplements never is the one answer. I truly believe it's all holistic, but they really do supplement, and they supplement everything else you're doing.
I think the thing is that sometimes you just feel you need that little bit extra. You may even have like a great diet, you may be exercising, but there's always going to be those times, isn't there?
Yeah,
you just think, I need a bit of a boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And my example with the magnesium, it's I was doing everything I could do, still struggling with sleep, and I had that extra supplement, and it was like, that was the extra I needed. I'm truly passionate about it. I'm truly passionate about everyone aging healthily as well as they can. It really does make me sad to see people, not I'm using that word.
They're not able to live life the way they could do.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't want to be preaching about it. There's always, I can, and my wellness isn't just, I am a yoga teacher and personal trainer. So I do, the physical side of it isn't only the supplements, and I sometimes, I don't want to be preaching about it, but it is quite hard when you can when you're truly passionate about the impact and how it helps people.
I think it's the same with me, when people say, oh, you look well for your age, what's your secret? Actually,
it's hard work.
It's I would love to have my hands, Vicky, in either a cake dome or a biscuit barrel.
Yeah.
But I know that that's going to make me feel really rotten if I keep doing it.
Yeah. And this is when I have to be mindful, because I am the type of person that can be, I'm really healthy. But if you close the door, I can be tempted to.
I think we all can. Anyway, Vicky, now comes to my good bit. I like to know just a couple of questions, like little quick fire questions about you, what you'd like. So what is your guilty pleasure snack when no one's watching?
Oh God, so there we are. Behind closed doors, what would I have? I think it's actually truly shocking. But
can't be worse than my cake, Vicky.
Yeah, I mean, I love a Toblerone. Yeah. But the problem is they sell them everywhere, and they're huge, aren't they?
Have you seen the ones in the airport? They're about this size.
I've never bought those ones, because the problem is once I start, I can't finish. Why do they not sell mini Toblerones?
I know, just like little.
Yeah, so Toblerones or.
I'm agreeing. Now then, Celery juice or champagne?
Actually, it is celery juice. So there we are. You know, I am full of conflicts. You know, I will take the celery juice and the big Toblerone.
Like have a bit of that.
Yeah,
and a bit of that
yeah. I am good and bad.
Now, is there any one wellness word that you just like think, oh, I wish they'd put that away and stop using it?
Well, it's hard because I use it a lot as well. And it would be, and it's a really hard word because I truly believe it in the word empowered. But I find I don't know what is the other option for the word empowered.
It's like it's one of those words that's got impact, but then is like, you know, it's like
Maybe
me with cookery. You know, I have that word moist.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, but a moist cake's a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then people
so
hate it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
don't use that word, you know, and it's like juicy or
Yeah,
you know,
no, there's no other word.
No.
You're gonna have to stick with moist cake. Yeah.
Oh dear, well there we are.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what, Vicky? You have been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. And I just want to say to you guys now, if you have never looked at these supplements, if you really don't know what you're doing, but you feel you need something, we're going to place all the details below for Royal Oak so that you know where you can go to find out more. It is a good website. Everything is like ABC. I like that. I need no complications in my life. And if you would like to join me on a podcast, all the details are below too. I would love to see you. I'm not that scary, am I, Vicky?
No, it's been fab. You're lovely.
Well, I'm very pleased. Anyway, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.